Hello there, beloved Ascension Pioneers, and welcome to this special video edition. Once again, it's an edition on living in the new. As you can see, change of scenery, which often do us very good. And this message is about all of us. So as you know, I like to use the word terms such as Ascension Pioneer, sometimes Way Shower, Pillars of Light. But we were just here today by this beautiful ocean side, and we created this sacred mandala circle, and then a beautiful spirit message started to come through, which was about a dedicated effort of this new period we're about to enter. We are already entering. That is a group common effort. You know, a lot of times, a lot of us, we're waiting for something to shift on the outside, or extraterrestrials to come, or certain people to show us the way. And as much as this was true in this shifting paradigm for years and years, and there was a lot of spiritual teachers and those who came here to share great depth and wisdom, this period we're entering now is all about a common together effort of each and every one of us, because those people who already have the knowledge, they're not moving into the age just for themselves. It's a common group effort, so it requires such thing as a sacred fellowship. And Spirit often, how it presents to me, this energy speaks about fellowship. So I would like to make this as an invitation, because what Spirit shared today was that what we're moving into is something so sacred that it requires our conscious dedication to every thought we have, to every action, to every deed. And a lot of times we're still in between, you know, sometimes it's almost like we can't choose between one or the other. And imagine that you, at the beginning where you're experiencing two things, almost like before the reunion of polarity takes place, it's fun and it's exciting because you're trying out different options. But at the same time, once you're across that point, you almost feel like it's almost like you can't have your cake and eat it too. Eventually you'll have to choose, and this is happening with many individuals now who really feel called to live in the new, not just for themselves, because whatever we do in this new age is not just about us. It will be a dedicated group effort that will feed and nourish the whole, which is not going to come from saving and rescuing, you know, and focusing on others from a term of healing, you know, healing others, but it will be about becoming such conscious examples that others who are also guided to choose that path will have no other option but to follow it. So the first thing really important here is to balance ourselves. A lot of times, especially those of us who are standing at the threshold as Ascension Pioneers, we've been doing so much work, not just how it is seen, but behind the scenes there was a lot of energy work, there was constant downloads, there was so many things, and a lot of us might still hold that inside of ourselves, that our path needs to be this way, and yet this path that's right in front of us now, that's opening in this new age that we're just beginning to enter into, will be about releasing what we thought was true for us at that level and moving to something new with a total blank slate. So what Spirit showed us today is almost like imagining every human opening a wide, beautiful book, the book of their own truth. Imagine your own tree of life beginning to blossom right in front of you, and with each blossoming there's a new branch that's becoming activated, and yet now we're at the threshold of synthesizing all of these branches. So what we can see is like each of us is getting a new attunement, a new confirmation of life, new signs, symbols, and yet if we won't slowly start to take those conscious steps, it's almost like you receive a beautiful gift from Spirit, you receive blessing, you receive guidance, and all you do is take it for granted, and you think, okay, it's just for me personally. And a lot of us sometimes maybe still have those desires when we say, I would like this, I would love this, I would love to experience this, and there's nothing wrong with this at all, because our soul is the uniqueness of the I Am, and yet where we're moving into is even a deeper refinement of that desire becoming a desire for the whole. So instead of, you know, what do I want in this moment, is what the Spirit, the greater being, the I Am that I am, want to bring through me into this reality that will nourish and replenish not just myself, but the collective. So the first step is really balancing ourselves. Are we balanced enough? How will we do this further advancement level if we're still carrying so much exhaustion from the first level? Because a lot of us have been doing a lot of this seeding of this new through a lot of conscious effort. A lot of it was dealing with a lot of action and preparation, sometimes for the body, because we're still in the physical body. And so our spirit was already at a certain level while our body was trying to capture, to kind of catch it and to follow it. And yet now we're coming into this stage when we're just inviting that this configuration of merge happens more automatically, that we're just allowing ourselves to, before we enter and start this new chapter, to really feel, why am I doing certain things, you know? Am I really guided by this higher nature, or is it sometimes just we're used to this, you know, how things used to be, how we used to see light on the planet. And now in this age, we're moving more into the how will we share it? How will we share it with our world in our unique way? You know, how will we create spaces, sacred spaces for others, which almost like is an invitation. So it's no more about healing others and rescuing others and teaching others, but it's becoming such a juicy example of this new truth, this new reality that you're birthing, that every being will feel your integrity. You know, by this I mean every being who is already opening themselves up to this level. So the second step after this balancing, which of course it's not like one after another because time is not linear, so these are steps that are all one. But this second important part is really being so in alignment with yourself. So self-questioning. This doesn't mean it's not the same as self-doubt, but really discerning, you know, if you see many different things you're guided to pursue, and sometimes it's like this, or you're creating many different things, because it's important to go for that which is most true in this moment, not just by what we desire sometimes to our human self, but the merging point of the human and the soul as one. And what would the third point be? Well, having fun with that. A lot of times we feel that what we're bringing to this reality has to come through hardship. And I still talk to many beautiful people who tell me that they've been basing their reality around the value or around the work they're doing. And as much as beautiful it is that we have this higher passions, that this ideal lives inside of us, we cannot really become a full master, a full conduit for this light until we really embrace that we need to be the example. So it's not just about others and it's not just about us. So how do we step into this new step, which is us and them as one? And that all of our desires include something that is beyond just what we have known for now. I know this sounds very archetypal and very big in the large scheme of things. And yet this is an invitation for all of you to enter your sacred heart. And when you live your daily reality with every choice you make, feel into it. Sometimes we rush through life, you know, from one activity to the next, from one choice to the next, and we're just used to this. The age of information can be very mind-based sometimes, and yet each information in this new reality we're creating needs to be actually birthed into this reality through wisdom. So wisdom cannot be achieved through rushing. And, you know, sometimes people say, I want to be so masterful, I want to be in this state of awareness. So they kind of compare themselves to where they are, to where others are. And yet it's about how will be wisdom in a way birthed through me, by me allowing myself to just be, but in a way to create a life of richness. So there's no such thing as self-fulfillment on a bigger level when we have this certain awareness. We don't also ripple it out, we don't share it, because nothing in this planet, as in terms of where we are in the shifting, ascending reality, is ever just for us. And what Spirit shared with me, with us today, is that no being on this planet right now does not have a purpose in this new reality. Even those that we might consider sometimes unawake, even they play their own part. So imagine yourself that you have a very specific role in this new earth, and that it's not so much related with what you do as in terms of what you perceive as bringing value, you know, creating things of value all the time. And this happens a lot of times for us when we're so driven by something that we perceive as greater. And yet even the more minute things are a part of this. So what Spirit said today was that when we understand this, that every single human that has awareness about this, at the same time, they have a responsibility how they act with this awareness. How do they approach it? How do they approach others through this awareness? A lot of times we still don't wish to fully be ourselves, and we don't wish to share with others. You know, sometimes it's easy through this channel, such as the World Wide Web. But how about in the physical? A lot of you might feel more pulled to bring certain gatherings and, you know, reunions that are more physical. And with this, we're kind of really moving into this new age, which is going to be about fellowship, about co-creation, because singularity is not as strong as community. So I would like you to ponder a bit about those things, because there's still a lot of beings who, they have awareness, they have certain knowledge, and yet their choices won't always reflect that. They'll still be choosing maybe according to the old, and you know, the shifting period is what it is. And yet where we are now, it's almost like, yes, it's time to make that jump, to make that leap of faith. So I invite you in the sacred space, and I'm going to wrap it up with the beautiful scenery here, the overview of this beautiful ocean side. And as always, so much love, wisdom, and power. Take care, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.